to the October in-person luncheon. I know we're all excited to be here. In case you forgot who I am, I'm Nancy Peltonen. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce. It's been 216 days since our last in-person luncheon. So that is a long time, and we've dealt with so much stuff that it is nice to see everybody, and I'm so glad you're wearing your name tags, because sometimes with the face masks on, it's hard to even tell who's behind them. So those are always handy. So rule 101 of networking, always have your name tag, even more important now. Our mission at the Chamber is to serve, advocate, and promote as the trusted voice for our business community. And we bring together businesses so that we can do collectively what we can't do by ourselves. You know, when you have a group of dedicated individuals working towards a common goal, we definitely are much more successful when we are all working together. I wanted to give you, I always have the fun facts. And COVID-19 has definitely changed how we at the Chamber currently deliver our benefits, but not how we deliver our value. So we have continued to have events, bring presentations to everyone actually. We did not really just limit it to our members. We missed one thing in this past 216 days, and that was one of our Brevard business professionals. But everything else, all our luncheons, we went online, all our BVPs went online, our leads groups went online, our multicultural networking group was online. So we did more chamber chats than ever during this time. We had more trainings than ever, and we did a lot of in-person things when we were trying to have just one-day events. We went for week-long events, so as you can imagine, that just made even more work. But we didn't want to not have what we promised. And so it was March 13th, we were supposed to have our lifestyle health and wellness at the mall, and we kept getting calls from a lot that were in the senior community saying they weren't allowed to go out and network at anything. So we had to shut that down. And how it turned out was a week-long lifestyle health and wellness where we had speakers, and usually 2 or 3 for an hour every day that morning, and we had 21 sponsors that we did videos for. So the one-day event became this much larger production, and as you know, us in technology, thank goodness we have Carolina, because that certainly made a whole difference, and 142 Productions was amazing putting that together. But we also had to do our lifestyle health, or our disaster recovery, which if you remember last year we had at Eastern Florida State College. It was a morning, it was great, over and done with. We did an entire week of that. If you want to know more about hurricanes, look at day 4 of it. Chris did a great job of talking about hurricanes, and we also had cybersecurity. We talked about all different things for disaster recovery. So that, once again, went from a half-day thing to an entire week worth of talks and sponsors, and so everything has just become much more for all of us. And so I know everyone is zoomed out. We all have Zoom fatigue. So thank you for all showing up. Those that could, we're thrilled that you're with us. For those that aren't, I'll wave to you on camera. They are going to get the recording of this afterwards. So I also want to let you know that we had 17 chamber chats. They were, we had 15,000 views, and they reached 36,000 people. So if you can imagine, when we're normally at these functions, and right now we had to limit it to 40, but if you get involved with one of our virtual things where you have a reach of 36,000 people, that is just so much larger, and you're reaching people you wouldn't normally at an in-person event. So there's been pros and cons with a lot of this. Some of the pros, though, are that the people that are watching some of these want to be watching it. If they don't, then they just tune out. But usually the ones that stay on and watch are engaged in what's going on. So it's kind of a nice way to get your message out there. We had 22 back to business videos, and that had 17,000 views of all those videos, reached about 35,000 people. We had 11 joint webinars with the Brevard Business Community Support, so all the chambers joined together. We sent out a lot of information, especially on getting loans and grants with EIDL and PPP. We continue to, if we get one that makes sense for all of us to work together to send out, like now, you have to make sure that you are doing your taxes correctly with the PPP loans and the EIDL loans. You want to make sure that you can get as much in terms of grant dollars out of it rather than having to pay any of it back. So make sure you watch some of those. The SBA has been great and we send those out to everybody. So I know a lot of people do not read our weekly chamber intel, but it really does have great information in there. If you scan to the bottom, you can see all the connections of what's coming up. So we had over 4,000 views of our disaster recovery week, so it reached about 10,000 people. And our Lifestyle Health and Wellness Week, not only did we do the videos, every day we had in-person events. So we had our turtle trek, which had the more views than anything, watching this poor little turtle try and make its way to the ocean. Cutest thing ever, I have to say. So we were successful in seeing the turtle that day. But we had kayaking, we were, Dr. Mullins led us through the trails at Malabar Scrub Sanctuary. We had rollerblading with Keith G and Carolina were, rock stars with that. So we're trying to get you engaged and out and safe. Social distancing, but still connecting in just different ways. So that's really what the chamber has been doing. I just kind of wanted to fill you in case you missed any of that. And everything is online. So check our Facebook page. You will be able to see any of the programs that we've done live. So time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I think everybody's back. And if you could have Mayor Hal Rose lead us off, that would be great.
Raise the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hurrah.
Thank you. And I'd like to introduce our dignitaries. You just met the Honorable Mayor of West Melbourne, Hal Rose. Thank you, Hal, for being here. And we actually have a few, so if we could wait till the end and give them all a great round of applause. We have our Honorable Deputy Mayor of West Melbourne, John Ditmore. Yeah, there he is. And then we have our Honorable City Council Member of West Melbourne, Pat Bentley. We have our City Manager of West Melbourne, Scott Morgan, and you're going to be hearing from him shortly. I don't know if I didn't see Suzanne. Did she?
No.
Nope, she didn't. Okay. We have our Director of Parks and Recreation, Fred Poppy, and with Palm Bay, and our Director of Growth Management for Palm Bay, Lawrence Bradley, is here. And there's Lawrence over there. And then the Chief Procurement Officer from Palm Bay is Juliette Mosconi, and she's with us today for the first time, so we're thrilled. And if you didn't notice, the desserts are over in the corner, so just make sure you go one at a time, but you can go back more than once. So, okay, and our board members then with us today is in alphabetical order. We have Adam Copenhaver with Linkio, and Beverly could not make it. Holly Tanner with LH Tanner Construction, Keith G with Bridges, and Rob Salonen with Florida Tech. If we could give them all a round of applause. And then we have our ambassadors, and we have Deb Jansen with LF Staffing. Once again, if you could hold your applause till the end, that would be great. Quite a few showed up today, so thank you, ambassadors. Ginger Aiello with BRG Air Systems. Heather, did Heather? Yes, there she is. Mother's Touch Movers. Janice Fox with Spotlight Magazine. Jennifer Valliere with Thriving Financial. And our newest one is Cherie Rigby with Raymond James. So if everybody could give them a big round of applause. We also now want to recognize our trustees, because trustees really are what carried the chamber through this time. They support at a higher investment level, and their support enabled us to continue doing what we did to help the small businesses get the information they needed. So we really, are truly grateful for our trustees. Our largest one is the Emerald Trustee, the City of Palm Bay. Our Gold Trustees, we have Waste Management, Health First, and Palm Bay Air and Heat. Our silver trustees, thank you to the City of West Melbourne. We have BRG Air Systems, very nice banner. Florida Power and Light, Florida Tech, thank you Rob, and L3 Harris. And our bronze trustees, even during the shutdown, and we weren't shut down, we worked the entire time, but we got 3 new ones, so that was pretty exciting. So we have Sam's Club, Edward Jones with Kevin Chancellor, ASAP Pest Solutions, Yellow Dog Cafe, the PI program with Brevard Public Schools, LH Tanner, Home to Suites and Hyatt Place, Linkio Public, Sandy Mickelson. We have Victoria Landing, Waterfront Assisted Living and Memory Care, Buenavida Estates, TD Bank, Orlando, Melbourne International Airport, Florida Healthcare Plans, Morse Com, Tank Wizards, PRC Property Renovations and Construction, and Adams Home. So a huge thank you to all those trustees. Our media partners, and we had a few more join us during this time as well, but we wanted to thank everythingbrevard.com, Hometown News, Saving Safari, Digital Inc., 142 Productions, Senior Scene Magazine, Blue Water Creative Group, Brevard Business News, and our newest one, Clear Channel Outdoors. They did a great job of advertising the drone racing, our Mayhem from Dawn to Dusk, so we certainly appreciate them stepping up to be a trustee. So we have our new members, and September was a busy month. So we want to thank Armstrong Restoration. We have Beachside Rehab, Clear Channel Outdoor, Kiwanis Club of Melbourne, Rich's Auto Tech, Senator Debbie Mayfield, SMB Accounting and Consulting, WellCare Health Plans, and To and From Courier Service. So we really want to thank them for joining our chamber. We have the renewals, so I really want to thank them. I won't read all of them off, but for those of you that may still be feeling some challenges, we do have a monthly payment plan. We just wanted to make sure that we could help everyone and help you keep membership in order to still be involved. So we have a monthly payment plan. We can work that out, and just give us a call. We have a number on it, and Pat's just thrilled to do that. And we also still have our referral program. So our chamber bucks, if you refer somebody and they join your chamber, you get $25 in chamber bucks. You can use that towards events or your membership renewal. So we certainly appreciate all our referrals. And before I move on, there's just 2 things I wanted to say before I bring up Scott. The sales surtax renewal. So I know Deborah was giving the information out about this. If you are a business that is interested in having a poster at your place of business, please, it's really important to get this renewed again. I think we can all, if you're a parent, I think you know that having your children go to school is really important rather than doing the homeschool, but a lot of them are needing repairs, and this is for construction and repairs and just making sure that we keep the school safe. So get informed though, and if you'd like to put more information in your place of business, we do have those posters to be able to hang up. And the other one thing I wanted to mention is Zonta Club of Melbourne. They have 16 days of activism. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and they have a campaign that says no to violence against women. And they're hoping that businesses and the community will put orange lights. Yes?
Take the microphone away from you a little bit.
Is it bouncing?
Well, bumping back here.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
They want you to display orange lights. It's, the orange lights are support the efforts of 16 days of activism to end violence against women. So that starts, I have that on my page here. I think it's November the, Sandy, do you have that?
November 25th.
Thank you, November 25th, and it goes into December 10th. Okay, so if you have orange lights, you can put them up for Halloween and then just keep leaving them up. So, it's a good way to support the Zonta Club of Melbourne. Okay, so Scott Morgan, I think, he has been just doing such a phenomenal job. He's been at the city since 2009, and he's just led the city to a financial turnaround that's really been astounding, with sustainable budgets, building reserves, receiving rating agency upgrades, And they also have the lowest ad valorem tax rates in Brevard County among cities that are of similar size. He's also reduced its long-term police pension obligations. They've been the city solid waste collection franchise, so saved lots of money doing that. They've also increased recycling by 75%. They've been the sewer collection and treatment operations management, so that's also had favorable sewer rates. They've just done so many things. I mean, they really are pretty amazing. He's had 40 years experience in local government. Before being the West Melbourne City Manager, he served as City Manager for the City of Anderson in California. 11 years there as a senior assistant. So I think we all know that he knows what he's doing, and as you can see, it's just, he's just going to tell you about all the events that are going on, the development that's happening. And so I won't read all the rest, Scott, but without further ado, and hold on, wipe off the microphone. Yes. Trying to keep everything distance and safe, so I'll wipe this off and then I'll get down and you can call it.
Oh, look at that. We are so good for 100 class.
Thank you very much, Nancy, and I'm honored to be the speaker at your first luncheon. The virtual luncheons, they were very low calorie, but this was really good. So really want to thank Promise for hosting it again. And you're doing a great job. We really appreciate being here and all that you do. So I just wanted to give a little update on what's going on with the city. And not to bury the lead, I want to talk a little about the pandemic. So in July, the City Council, to try to locally help reduce the spread, approved an emergency ordinance for employees and customers of 10 identified essential businesses, the largest businesses that are groceries, home improvement and hardware, and retail pharmacy. And the ordinance currently has a sunset date of October 12th, although the council granted the city manager the ability to administratively extend that 1 week at a time, provided that the governor still has us in a COVID-19 state of emergency. So currently the governor's extension of the state of emergency goes through November 3rd. And so under the terms of the ordinance, if he does not extend that state of emergency, then our ordinance will automatically sunset. Sort of moving on to what Nancy alluded to, so kind of the growth and development continuing in West Melbourne. We continue to be the fastest growing city in the county by percentage, and we have more than doubled our population since the 2000 census. We are expecting a good count for the 2020 census coming up. Now, we do have a state estimate of our April 1, 2020 population, which is now 25,385. And now the census will adjust that according to the count. But that was a 7.5% increase over the April 1, 2019, so a pretty good percentage increase. And then our own planning department estimate for April 1, 2021 is 26,750, which would represent another 5.7% compared to the current April 1, 2020 estimate. And despite the pandemic,